Okay.
Okay.
So we were on real numbers. So what are real numbers?
Real numbers are all the numbers, like it includes whole numbers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, everything. I got.
So real numbers means a very big set of numbers that contains whole
Yes.
numbers,
Yes.
contains rational, irrational, fractions, and everything. Only one thing it does not contain, that is complex numbers. Complex numbers are not part of the real numbers. And other all numbers are the part of the real numbers. Okay, so here the function is, there's a very small example, y is equal to 3x. So y is equal to 3x. So what is the domain of this function? What does the meaning of domain? Domain means what are the x values that we can input in this function. So it means we can
Yes.
put any x values from the whole real numbers. So whole real number is the domain of this function.
Okay.
Another example, y is equal to square root of x. So what is the input? What is the inputs that we can put in this function? So we know that the square root can never give a negative answer. There is square root of one does not have any answer. Therefore, the domain of the set is all real numbers that are greater than or equal to.
Or equal to 0. Yes.
Negative numbers cannot be the part of the x. So what is domain? Domain is the any x value that we can put, and the variable x is often referred to as independent variable, while the variable y is referred to as dependent variable. When we talk about x and y this way, because the y values of the function depend upon the x value. So we know that whenever, like in the last example, we have some function y is equal to 2x minus 1. So I just plot a graph, I put x, y. So I start putting the values of x myself that were independent. And when I put the values of x in the function, it were giving me some values of y that were dependent upon the x value.
On the x,
So
yes.
x values are always independent and y values are dependent, because y values are always dependent upon the x values.
Okay.
The range of the function is defined in the set of all y values for which a function is defined. Just as we did with the domain, we can examine a function determiner's range again. It's often helpful to think about what restrictions there might be and what graph the function looks like. For example, y is equal to x squared. The domain of the function is all real numbers. And what about the range? Domain means what are the input values that we can put in this function. So we can put any real number. So
we in this, the domain will be any real number, right?
yes. But what will be the range? Range is the answers we can get from this function. So range of the function is set of all the real numbers that are greater than or equal to 0, because it is a square function. If we will get put minus 1 over here, answer would be positive 1. If we will put
Positive.
1 over here, answer would be positive 1.
Positive,
So
yes,
answer
yes.
can never be negative. Can the answer be negative? Answer
No.
can never be negative. So what are the answers expected from this
I
function?
have one question.
Yes.
I have one question. Even for x also, the answer can never be negative, is it?
For x,
Because it's
see,
a
I have put
square.
negative 1 over here.
Oh, okay. We can assume x. Oh, okay, got it.
We can put negative values, positive values, or 0 on the x. We will get the answer.
Okay.
So x contain the domain would be all real numbers, but the answer can always be positive. So range would be all real numbers greater than equal to 0, that is positive real numbers.
Okay.
This is the graph in front of you. Okay. Earlier, you were given a problem about you and 3 friends were going to see a movie in the movie on Friday. If you were to graph the cost for the 4 of you based on which theater you choose, which values would you present in the domain and which in the range? One function that describes a suitable situation would be PT is equal to 4T. PET would be the total price based on the per ticket price, and it is equal to 4x ticket price. So in this case, your domain would be, all the prices would be the domain, since there are the prices you would input in the place of the dependent variable x to get the total price of each theater. The range would be, these are the prices of the range that will be the dependent variable y. Okay, state the domain of each of the following function y is equal to x square.
I didn't get it, the first one.
That is nothing that we have already done. That is just written in the words that there is a theater, we're purchasing the tickets. And what about the tickets where for each theater?
No, you said in the previous one, you said the number of theaters would be the domain, and the y value would be the number of, no, that is not the one, right?
Yes, but here it is not comparing the theater and the y values. Here it is comparing the cost of the ticket and total cost of the 4 tickets.
Okay.
So the cost of one ticket will be definitely independent, and the total cost of the 4 tickets would be definitely dependent.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay, okay, sure.
Okay. State the domain of each of the function. Y is equal to x square.
Domain of each function will be so real number.
Okay. 1 over x.
1 over x is domain will be cannot be negative.
Why?
No,
We can write 1 over minus 1.
no, domain cannot be 0. Anything by 0 is
Infinity.
Infinity.
So domain cannot be 0. Why domain cannot be 0? Because anything over 0 would be infinity. C part. The domain is always the x. Whenever you have the ordered pairs, write all the x values as the domain, 2, 3, and 5.
Yes.
This is the very easiest part of the domain.
Okay. Yes.
State the domain and range of the function y is equal to 2 by x.
2 by x. So the x cannot be 0, but it can be any real number. This is what it is. And y range will be 2 by 2. So range cannot be 0, but it can be real number. Yeah, it can be real number, anything, but it cannot be 0.
Range is restricted to non-zero real numbers. Okay, why can't be 0?
Because if we put range can be no 0. How can range be 0? Because if we write range is also to non-zero range.
Range can never be 0. Y can never give the answer 0 because y is 2 over something.
Yes,
2 over
yes.
1, 2 over something. So y is already
Can
telling
never
us
be.
that it's 2 over something. So definitely it's not going to give us the answer.
Yes. 0, yeah. It can never give shown the first consider what restrictions there will be in the graph as the domain of. So the domain will be any real number, and but it cannot be 0, right? It has to be greater than 0.
First, consider what restrictions there might be and then look at the graph. We can see y is equal to square root x has a domain of all real numbers greater than or equal to 0 because the graph only exists exact values at the positive. So we can see from the graph that the graph of y square root x is going only in the positive values. So the domain would be any real numbers greater than or equal to 0. Because x values are positive. So since there is no square root of the negative number, we have already done this example. So this is a revision. There is no square root of negative number. So this is the square root of x. So it means it can only have 0, square root of 0, which is equal to 0, or any positive value.
Yes, greater than, yes.
I don't think so. It's difficult. If it's difficult, we can do a lot of more examples. I have other examples too, apart from the book.
No, it's okay. I think I'm understanding a lot now. I actually did these things. I actually completed the third chapter, but yeah, they're since I'm reviewing, I'm getting a little bit whatever doubts I had
Start
before.
question number 1. Determine the domain and range of the relations.
Determine the range and domain. So range domain will be 0, 3, and 90, and range is 4, 20, and 33.
Can you speak a bit louder?
Oh, so relation is sorry. Domain is 0, 3, and 90.
Okay.
And range is 4, 20, and 33.
Okay. I'm just putting D for domain. It's going to be 0, 3, 90. R for range. It's going to be 4, 20, 33.
33. Yes.
Second part.
This one is the domain is 3, 6, 10, and minus 31. And range is minus 4, 37, minus 10, and 2.
Question number 3.
Tina's car travels about 30 miles for 1 gallon of gas. She has between 10 to 12 gallons of gas in tank. Find the domain and range of the function to calculate how far she drive. Car travels 30 miles, 1 gallon. 30 miles. I don't know this one. See,
Tina's car travels about 30 miles on 1 gallon of the gas. 30 miles on 1 gallon of the gas.
Mhm.
She has between 10 and 12 gallons of gas in the tank. Between 10 and 12. Between 10 and 12, what we have? We have 10, 11, and 12. Find the domain and range of the function. So how many gallons it has? She have 10, 11, and 12 gallons. So it would be the domain. And range, she can travel Tina's car can travel 30 miles on 1 gallon. So for 10 gallons, it will travel 300 miles. For 11 gallons, it will travel 3 into 11, 33. And 3 into 2 is 360. Done?
Yeah.
Question number 4. Try it.
Joe and 3 of his friends plan on going bowling and plan on doing 1 or 2 games. Okay. 1 and 2. Each game cost 2.75. Find the domain and range, calculating the cost of the trip. Cost of the trip. Can you give me a minute?
Yes,
I'll be back in
yes.
that 1
Okay.
minute, okay? Sorry. Sorry, I'm back.
Okay.
Joe and
Just think about
his
question
friends
number 4.
plan on going bowling. 2 games each. So 1 or 2. So 1 and 2 will be domain. No? Or each cost.
Joe and 3 of his friends plan on going bowling and plan on bowling 1 or 2 games each. Each game costs 2.75. Find the domain and range of the cost.
I don't know. Sorry.
Joe and 3 of his friends means total people are 4.
4.
So play the game on bowling on 1 and or 2 games each. 1 games means 4 times 1 is 4. 2 games is 4 times 2 is 8. Each game costs 2.75. So 4 into 2.75. Multiply it. 4 multiplied by 2.75.
Oh, you asking me? Sorry. No, I didn't get it. This one.
I will explain you again. Just tell me what is 4 multiplied by
Okay.
2.75.
Sorry. 11, 11.
Good. Thank you. 8 multiplied by 2.75.
4, 8, 38. Astaghfirullah. It's 22, 22.
Okay. Okay, now let's read the question again. Joy and three of his friends plan on going bowling. So how many people are going for the bowling? 4 people are going for the
4, yes.
we can understand this. And
Hmm.
plan on bowling 1 or 2 games each. So each of the game will be bowled either 1 times or 2 times. So what is the
Okay.
input? Bowling of the games. And how many times the game will be bowled? Either 1 times or 2 times. And how many people are going to bowl? 4 people are going to bowl. So 4 people
Okay.
will bowl 1 time means 4 times 1 is 4. 4 people will bowl 2 times means 4 times 2 is
8.
8.
Yes. Okay, now I get it. Okay.
And we will multiply the cost and get the answer.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So we get the domain in the range. Come to question number 5.
Okay, let's see this one. Bob had a summer job that paid $10 per hour. $10 per hour. And he worked between 20 to 25 hours each week. 20 to 24, 5 hours each week. Modeled by the equation S is equals to 10 hours, where S is his weekly salary and H is the number of hours he worked per week. What is the independent variable for this problem? So it is 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Okay. For question number 5,
20.
domain would be Bob had a summer job that paid $10 per hour. So 1 hour is going to pay $10. And he worked between 20 to 25 hours per week. His weekly salary can be modeled by the equation S is equal to 10H, where S is the weekly salary and H is the number of hours he worked per week. What is the independent? Independent variable means what is the domain, in other words, and domain would be between 20 to 25 hours.
Yes.
And what is the range, domain and range of the problem? So what will be the range? Because for 1 hour, the person is getting $10. So it can be between 200 to 250 dollars. Range would be between $200 to $250.
Yes.
Coming to question number 6.
Oh, that was easy. Okay. 6. What does each value in the ordered pair, this and this, mean in the context of the previous problem? So 20 means the X value and domain, and 200 means the Y value, that is range.
Range, very good. So what does each value in the ordered pair mean in context of the previous problem? 20 means X domain. And what is the meaning of domain? Means number of hours. Domain was number of hours?
Yes. No. Yes. Sorry. Number of hours.
And 200 means Y value, and Y value means
It's the salary that hour, that number of hours.
So when it says what does it mean, means X and Y. Everyone knows the ordered pair is X and Y, but what does X mean? X means number of hours and Y means the salary he get.
Okay. Yes.
Question number
Okay, I have
7.
to explain. Which group of students represent the domain and which range in these pairs? Obviously, the domain is Jim, Joe, Brian,
Which group of
Jesus, and
students
Ken.
represents the domain and which the range in this problem? Jim, Kitty, Joy, Betty, Brain, Alice, Jesse, Anissa, Ken, Kelly. So all of the first positions would be Jim.
Domain.
I'm going to mark with the red one. The Jim. This is the Jim, Joy, Brain, Jesus, and Ken are the domains. And marking with the purple one, Kitty, Betty, Alice, Anissa, Kelly are
the range.
Coming to the next question.
State the domain and range. Y is equals to
Oh, sorry.
what happened?
Okay. Y is
Hmm.
equal to mod of x. I hope you know what is a function meaning mod of x.
It's
This is a
just the
function mod of x
magnitude.
means every value will be positive.
Yes. Oh, okay.
It makes all the
Yes.
negative values positive. Sorry, positive. Okay. Y is equal to mod of x.
So x will be real numbers greater than or equal to 0,
Why?
and y will,
Why greater than or equal to 0?
because every value will be positive. So it can
Yes,
be
it
either
will give the answer positive. You can put
Yes.
-1, it will give the answer 1. You can put -2, it will give the answer 2. You can put +1, it will give the answer 1. If you can put +2, it will give the answer 2. You can put any negative or positive value. This the function mod will make it positive.
So
But you can
sorry.
put
So the
any
y
value
is
negative or positive, so it means the domain would be
domain will be real numbers.
real numbers.
Yes.
And range would be answer is always going to
The
come positive. So the range
so
would
it
be
will be real
0 or
numbers
greater
greater
than.
than or greater than 0.
Okay. Question number 9. X is equal to square root y.
Oh, okay. So now here the y will be, it will be the opposite of what
Opposite.
it
Domain
was
would be
question.
only positive numbers.
Yes.
And
And
range would be any real number.
yes, any real numbers. Yes. And 10th one is
No, yes,
x.
yes. Y is equal to x square.
Y. So x can be any real number, and y will be greater than or equal to 0 real number.
For question number 10. Domain would be
Domain will
number,
be any real
range
number,
would be
and range
only
will be
positive
greater,
numbers.
only positive, yeah, or greater than or equal to 0, right?
Yes.
Anything. Okay. Yeah, that is what I said. The 11th will be opposite. Like x will be only positive, and
X means
y can
domain.
be,
Domain will be only positive numbers and range can be
range can be any
real
real
number.
number. Yes.
I hope I have made you understand it in a better way.
Yes, you have. Alhamdulillah. I have actually completed, but these numbers one, the 3 till 7, it's really difficult for me to do it. Okay.
Okay, question number 11.
11. So this is not a function. I have to tell what is function, or no. I have to tell what is domain and range, right?
Yes. So tell
Okay,
me
so
what is
domain is A. Domain is X1, A, B, and C. Sorry.
and range?
And range will be A, B, C, D. Yes.
Question number 12.
Question number 12 is range is I mean, sorry, domain is 1 and 3, 1 and 3, I mean 2.5 and 3.6 or 7, whatever.
3.7.
And then 5.5, and then 6.5,
6.5,
and then 8
7.
and 8.
And what would be range?
Range will be 2 and
2,
5.
because it's only 2 and it's only
5.
Very good. Okay.
Okay, now it comes. So domain will be 0, and
No, why
sorry,
0?
domain will be real. Oh, sorry, -1.
No. Listen to me. If the graph is like this, it means it's keep on going on. So it means it's keep
Okay.
on going on. It's going over here and it's going over here. So domain is all the real numbers because domain take all the x values. So all the x values from here and here, including 0. So domain
So it
is
will be
all real
minus,
numbers. And range would be, because it is going only in the upward direction. In upward direction means positive y-axis.
okay.
Positive y-axis means range would be only positive numbers.
Positive. Okay. So how are we gonna write? Like only real numbers that are
We will
positive,
write like this: domain, which is equal to all real numbers.
all real numbers.
Range, which is equal to positive numbers, positive real numbers.
Okay, positive real numbers. Okay.
Last one.
Oh, wow. Okay, so then I don't know these signs.
Domain, don't know these signs. Domain is all the red symbols.
All the red symbols, okay.
Range is
And
all the symbols.
okay. Okay.
So we are done with the domain, range, functions, and the relations.